Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, our personality today is for all of you who are interested in opportunities within the agric space. Whether you want to work with farmers, whether you want to add value, whether you want to brand, package, and find access to market. She's one woman whose experience you want to document and learn from. I'm talking about Mabel Akoto Kuju. She's the 2017 runner-up, first runner-up for Best National Farmer. And of course, the CEO of Okata Farms. Now, she's a trained psychologist. She's worked with children. She's helped people living with HIV/AIDS. And then somehow she got interested in agriculture. In 2005, she started her farming, and then in 2010 she started adding value, and since then she's worked with over 3,000 smallholder farmers. I'm going to walk you through some of the awards she's won, but that's not even the point of our conversation, but it's important to put it into context. So some of her accolades, just a little bit. District Best Rice Farmer 2013, Regional Best Agro Processor 2014, National Best Small Scale Agro Processor 2015, second National Best Farmer in 2017, and finally, Best Female Rice Farmer under USAID in 2017. We're going to show you some of her products that we have in studio. We're just going to show her product lineup so that you can appreciate the work that she's done, not only working with smallholder farmers, but creating high quality products that can compete with any international brand. She's truly representing Ghana. And throughout our conversation with her, if you have any questions, let me know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana and you still want some tips on how you can thrive in the agribusiness space, just use the country code +233. Good morning, Mother Mabel.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
And thank you for existing and succeeding so that we all know that it's possible.
You're welcome.
Now let's talk about your life. What was life like as a child? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Akosombo.
Okay.
My dad was a civil engineer working with Volta River Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And at one time he was the town manager for Akosombo.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say we were so rich, but we were middle class. And I had everything that I wanted. My mom was a teacher also at Akosombo International School. Mm. And then after common trans, I came to St. Mary's Secondary School.
Did you enjoy secondary school?
I did.
What did you do?
I did, because living home was an experience for me. I had always been the dadaba type, always with my mom and my dad. And even at secondary school, that time they had moved to Accra. Mm. And if I complain of something small, my dad would quickly rush to the school.
Aww.
To the extent of bringing me hot water in the morning.
You're kidding.
He was bringing me hot water in the morning.
How did the other students see that?
I was the reserve type. Aww. So I don't make friends easily. So they just looked at me and they'll laugh at me. I'm dadaba. But it was an experience, living home and being on your own, growing up. And then later on, I had to go and study my child psychology. And in fact, I studied stenographer secretary after O-level at government secretariat and then Cedar House.
Okay.
So I'm a full stenographer secretary grade 2.
Wow. Why that?
I wanted to do nursing.
Okay.
But my dad said no. And I said, why? He said I was going to bring all the sicknesses from Kolebu to the house. That time there was no COVID-19, but he had that perception. Yes, so he talked me out of becoming a nurse. And I became a stubborn cat. I decided to do whatever I wanted to do. I wouldn't go anywhere. So eventually I said I'll go and do this secretarial course. And I did, and I excelled.
Wow.
In my life, anything I touch, I excel. I don't know whether it's a blessing from God.
Wow.
Yes, so I did that before now, thinking of going to do the child psychology.
Okay.
And I went to do it, and I've never regretted doing child psychology.
Why child psychology?
Because I loved children. You should see me even before doing that. Saturdays and Sundays, children were always in my house. I was frying pancakes for them. And when we don't want to do the pancakes at home, we carry the coal pots and the mixture to wherever we want, and we fry and we enjoy. And I was just taking children on excursion. You know, I never thought of even accident or anything. We would just rent a bus, and then we go Akoto, Kakum, wherever with the children. So I grew so much love for children. Then I realized that some of these children, even their English was very, very bad. How can I help these children to overcome that problem? Let me go into this child psychology. And since I completed, I've never taught children above grade 1.
So we'll get to why you decided to not teach children above grade 1. We're still here with Mabel Akoto Kuju, 2017 first runner-up National Best Farmer and CEO of Okata Farms. I mean, this is a very powerful woman working with over 3,000 smallholder farmers. Don't go anywhere. If you have any questions for her, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and a WhatsApp line 0550585832. We'll be right back. We'll talk briefly about the child psychology and the data.
Banking with biometrics. Now you can access the Absa mobile banking app using your fingerprint or facial recognition. Download today. That's Africanacity. That's Absa.
Extra data, extra minutes, and extra unlimited calls. Not just that, even our extra data doesn't expire. See the film? Simply dial *111# to bundle now.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
Welcome back. This is still Breakfast Daily on Citi TV. Thank you so much for staying with us. And today we are doing all things agribusiness, okay? For all the young people out there, you're home, you're trying to find opportunities in the agric space. You don't know where you fall within the supply chain. You don't even know where to begin, whether you want to be on the farm, whether you want to package, whether you want to sell. Today is your opportunity to ask all your questions from a woman who has real life experience from even not being in a farming background. I mean, she started out as a child psychologist, ran an NGO helping people living with HIV. It has somehow ended up in agriculture, and she has not only succeeded, she has thrived. So send those questions in with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, use the country code +233. Madam Mabel, so we're talking about why you decided to not go above grade 1. Most of us would want beyond grade 1. Why?
You know, for a child's development, it must start from kindergarten by age 5. We call 2 to 4 years the exploring age, the play group. From age 5. The child must start now picking up things, mathematics, English, and then that builds the child's mind to be able to read. And when you read, it's the best asset, because when you read and you understand what you are reading, then you can do everything. You can understand anything. So I decided, why don't I help them? So they pick up. You see someone who cannot even say one word, not even a consonant, But then within the full term, the person is reading, and there's so much joy. And I meet them now, and they're doctors and lawyers and professors, and I'm so happy. They always invite me to their weddings.
Wow.
The ones I can, I go. The ones I can't. And there's one particular one that I even called him Wele. He was brought from a village at about 16 years, and he was brought to kindergarten.
Oh.
And was just disturbing the children in the class.
At 16?
Yes. So I gave them, I said, do an imaginative composition. Close your eyes and imagine you are somewhere. Draw something on a paper for me. And everybody the children do birds, sky, everything. Something I would understand. Then he came, he had shaded his whole paper black. Then I said, Washington, what have you done on your paper? He said it's in Ga. Teacher, he draw Todini Domodumi, a black goat standing in the dark. And how can you see a black goat standing in the dark? And now he's an electrician, an accomplished one. He couldn't complete the school. He left in class 1, but he's now an accomplished, married to a pharmacist with children attending Morning Star and speaking English with his children. So it's even a joy.
Wow.
You see. And then after teaching for a while, I decided, no, I can't be a teacher for my whole life. I'm getting to 40. My children will be going to the university. This salary will not send me send my children to the university. I'll keep borrowing. So let me do something else. And then Ghana AIDS Commission came. They wanted people who could help with people living with HIV and AIDS, and they wanted psychologists and people for that matter. So I just went for their training, and I opened an NGO. And I started working with people living with HIV/AIDS, training them in batik tie and dye for them to be on their own. Because where my husband comes from, there were a lot of them with the disease. And then they were dying. And it was so pathetic when you see somebody dies in that same dress, they bury the person. So I said, let me do something. So I had to bring in Bobobo. I really love Bobobo music. So I contracted Aguji Pando Aguji Bobobo, and they composed a lot of music, Bobobo music.
Do you remember some of the songs?
Yeah. No,
it's been so long. It's okay.
So I contracted them, and they did a nice cassette for me. And the village life on Sunday afternoons is full of akpeteshi and palm wine, and then dancing, just to happy yourself.
And you're singing about
and
HIV.
then we were dancing with them, you see, and they were so happy. And then the words of the songs were entering their heads. And bet you, to date, there's nobody with HIV in the village.
Now, how did you go from, I want to be a nurse, if my dad won't let me be a nurse, I'll become a psychologist, going to work with people living with HIV/AIDS, to, I'm going to be a farmer now? What happened?
I was born a farmer, I will say that. Because from my youth, I really loved gardening. At Akoto, we had a big swimming pool in our home. And my kid sister fell into that swimming pool. And my mom said, that is it.
No more swimming.
No more swimming. Come and fill it with black soil. So they filled that big swimming pool with black soil. Wow. And we had every kind of vegetable in that swimming pool.
Your swimming pool into
yes, into a vegetable garden.
Wow.
So we're eating kontomire from our garden eggs, okra, pepper from our garden. Wow. And our next door neighbor had poultry. So I said, we could make money out of all these things. So as I grew up, I said, no. If I look at my background when I was a young girl, and I saw us eating, and at that time, a champion came with Operation Feed Yourself.
Yeah.
And we were not importing even rice. We were eating the corn rice.
Wow.
Those starchy, we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So why don't I go in now and do farming? Okay, I need to talk to my husband. He is the one who must agree, because I don't have lands to farm, but they have a lot of lands, farming lands. Immediately I said, he said, no, you are not going to farm. My parents were farmers, and farming is so poor, it's for a poor man. And okay, if I say, and he said, you go, then I am not going to leave my job. He was a statistician at IRS. Wow. I am not going to leave my job. You can go and look for your land and farm. So he called.
What year was this?
That was in 2004.
Okay.
He called his friend, and his friend said, oh, come, don't mind John. You come, I'll get lands for you. So 2005, I went.
So you really didn't mind John?
No, you can't stop me from what I've decided to do. So I went, and he said, you know something, you are growing too fat, so I would like you to slim down. I'm taking you up a hill to go and farm. And it takes me 2 hours to climb that hill to the top. And when I got there the first day and I looked down, I saw Togo. The scenery was so beautiful, this Agumacha mountain range. And then when you look at Togo, it's a flat land. But to me, it was hilly. And I said, no, I'm there for it. So I went with people. We weeded. I said, no chemical. We are going to weed.
Wow.
So I took people, and before I get there, they're already there. By 4, 5, they set off. I'll get there around 9.
Okay.
They've weeded, and we finished the whole thing, put up a small hamlet there for the caretaker. And at the end, that was around July in 2005. And by September, you should see my maize. Very big maize, and I just had to thank God for what he had done. And when it came to harvesting, I took the whole village to go and harvest that maize. And there was no sheller, no harvester, so we used our hands to pick the maize from the cobs, and so many bags of maize. About 70 maxi bags of maize. And I was so happy.
And this is your first year?
My first year. Wow. So we had to bring in an aggregator. A middleman came to quote his own prices. But I was okay with the price he gave. He was cheating me though, but I was okay. And I sold it. I had a lot of maize to give to friends, family, and also I had maize to eat throughout the year. So the following year, 2006, I said, no, I'm going to add rice because it's a rice growing area.
But where did you learn these skills from? I mean, it's one thing to grow in your garden, but you're a psychologist.
It's just God. I did agronomy.
Oh, yes, you went to school to do agronomy.
To do agronomy.
How important was that?
Because
to get your master's in agronomy.
You have to learn the soil you are going to plant your seed in.
Okay.
During our grandparents and great-grandparents, you see that they had a fallow period. They farm on this land for 2-3 years. They leave it fallow and move on to another land. Although they were not educated, they knew what they were doing. But in our time now, because we don't want to practice fallow farming, we are applying chemicals. And so every food we are eating is chemical. And then we are bringing so many diseases that did not exist in Africa, which are European sicknesses. We are blessed so much in Africa, but we are not praising God for that. If without Africa, outside Africa, they cannot survive when it comes to agriculture, because they are using chemicals for everything.
Now, 2004, farming was not as sexy as it is today. When you say you're going farming, everybody thinks, you know, let me just do my small thing in my backyard and call it a day. What made you decide I'm going to actually go get my master's in agronomy, and I'm going to, what vision did you have in mind?
I foresaw what will come out in agriculture, because we have put it in our minds that a farmer is the poor or uneducated villager somewhere. But then when you look at the educated ones who are doing farming, they were really doing well. Because when I was growing, there were these professors from University of Ghana, Professor Ayite, Professor Ayi, Professor Jones, Professor Ting. They were at University of Ghana farms in Pong. But they were growing rice, and we go on holidays in Pong, and we go scaring birds. And I really enjoyed it, scaring the birds. And then there were tilapia on the rice fields, those small, small tilapia. And we were catching them, and it was a joy. But then it got to a point I said, no, let me go into farming. When I go into farming, it has been a dream. Even when I was teaching, it was still a dream. I must go into farming. And
how did your experience as a child psychologist working with vulnerable people prepare you for working with smallholder farmers?
It really prepared me because you understand human beings. We are all not equal. And so if somebody is behaving in a funny way, you don't shout at that person. You don't insult that person. You don't sack the person from you. You rather sit the person down and talk the person out of that character. I remember I had one farmer. He was always drunk. One of these smallholder farmers. He was always drunk. I was on the farm one day. Somebody came to call me, Madam, this guy was dying. Then I quickly rushed there. And I said somebody should bring me kinky. And they brought me the kinky we had sent to the farm. I quickly mashed it without sugar. Gave it to the guy. He drank it. And then he got up all of a sudden and said, Madam, you are Jesus. You are Jesus. You have saved my life. I said, no, I am not Jesus. But I want you to take a cue from what I've done. You never drink again. And till date, he has never tasted alcohol. You see, so we study, with the child psychology, you are able to study human character, human behavior. And through that, you can work with anybody. You can live anywhere. You can live the comfort of your house at East Cantonment and even sleep on your farm in a hamlet with snakes and buffaloes and...
Did your family members think you were going crazy?
Yes, even my mom thought I was not serious. He said my husband had jujued me to send me to his village to go and farm.
But your husband didn't even approve?
No, he didn't approve. He didn't approve until 2007. He was involved in an accident.
Oh.
And then 2008, when he started walking, he was in wheelchair. He went on to crutches and then walking stick. And then they said he should come for physiotherapy. And then I said the best physio will be on the farm. So he had to stop his job and he came on the farm. And he's now the farm manager.
How did he react to that?
He didn't say anything.
Really?
Yes, he didn't. He just came because he was told in the office that he has to take an early retirement because he can't work. He had a very strenuous work. So he just had to leave and then he came to join me. So
was
now
he shocked?
He was shocked. When he came to the farm,
how
he was
did he
shocked.
react?
He just didn't know how to talk, you see. So he told his children, your mom is doing an excellent job.
Wow.
You see, when I bring foodstuffs, he doesn't know where it's coming from. And before he realized, I had a palm plantation.
Hey.
I had a cocoa plantation.
Okay, hold on. We started with corn. How did you get into rice and all these things?
That area is a rice growing area.
Okay.
We have a lot of much
This is still Volta?
Yes, that's
region.
It's now Oti. We are now in Oti.
Okay.
And it's a forest area too. And it's mountainous. And we have a lot of rice that grows on mountains. And 2014, no, I've not reached there yet.
We are still in 2007,
2008. I started growing rice in 2006.
Okay.
And the first rice did not do so well. The yield was not that good because we were supposed to pick the weeds in the farm. And the people did not do a good job. So the weeds were competing with the rice itself. And so the nutrients were going into the weeds as well as the rice. Okay. But I was okay because the maize, I had it from the maize. And I continued. And then I decided to do pepper. Legon 18 on a contract farming for somebody who was exporting it outside. And I vowed never to do pepper.
Why?
The 7-acre pepper I did. Every time you finish harvesting 1 acre and go on to the 2nd acre, the 1 acre, what you left is also ripe.
Wow.
So you have to send a whole lot of people. People were stealing and all that. So now I got to a point, if you want to buy pepper, you go and harvest and I give it to you at a reduced price. Then I vow never to do pepper. I should concentrate on my rice and my maize.
But your first year, the rice didn't go as planned.
Yes.
You tried pepper, massive loss. What kept you going? Because most people would have been like, maybe this is a sign from God that I should stop doing this and go back to my comfortable home in East Cantonment and call it a day.
If at first you don't succeed, you must try again. So I kept on trying until 2008. that I had my bumper harvest in rice. And that it was brown rice. And when I got married to my husband, when my mother-in-law brings me brown rice, my mother said, this is Kuju rice. We are not going to eat it. So she will empty it into the dustbin.
Your mom sounds like quite the character.
So in fact, we didn't know what we were missing until I went into the cultivation of the brown rice. I researched in the brown rice, and I had people coming from Holland and Japan just to come and research in our brown rice. They buy everything.
Wow. And
they send it to Holland.
How did they find you? Because one of the biggest challenges a lot of people in this space have is access to market.
They just came to Accra and wanted this particular brown rice, and they were told that it grows very well in our area. So they researched and got my number to Mofa. Okay. And then they called us, and then they came. That time, Larry Bevololati was also doing rice. He has big farms. Okay. So they came, they studied on our farm, studied on Larry Bevololati's farm. And then they were doing research, sending the rice to Holland and all that. And so there, I realized that there was something good in the brown rice.
You had just found gold.
Yes, I found gold. So I decided that, no, I'll concentrate on brown rice and see what will happen. So my main rice that I grow is brown rice. Wow. And it grows on hills. It can grow on a hill. Okay. And so even rain or no rain, a little rain, you get your brown rice, unlike the jasmines and that need marshy lands to grow. And then somewhere in 2012, I was just there when they called me from SADA. That's, Madam, we need the northern part of Oti region. That's the northern Volta at that time. It's a savanna area. We need somebody to help the farmers. They like fighting too much. These cucumbers are always fighting. What can we do to help them? Somebody nominated you. So we don't know if you move to Kwasa to help the people there. That was in 2013. And the very day I stepped in Kwasa, the cucumbers were fighting. They bent the DC's car. Oh. They choked people with knives. There was blood all over. And my husband said, can we stay in this place? I said, we will. Why? God has brought us here. Because when I look at the lands there, this is what we call lands, not what we're farming in the Likpe, Howard areas. This is where you get 2,000 acres, vast land stretching along the Volta Lake, along the Kwasa River. This is where God wants me to be. I'm going to be the Joseph for these cucumber people. And we had a town hall meeting, talked to them, and I realized that women don't do anything. Cucumber women were not allowed to do anything.
So they will just watch the men fight?
Yes, and that is why they have time to fight. Any fight is generated by a lady through gossip. And then, because there are 3 tribes there, the Basari, the Cucumbers, the Dagumbes, and then the Batos, who are fishermen. So after talking to them, I said, look, I'm going to employ all of you, and I'm going to teach you how to grow rice. And they were so happy. And the SADA came in, they helped us with tractors, they gave us seeds. We gave it to all the women farmers and male farmers. And to date, have you heard of any fighting in Kwasa again? Now the women are rich. They are richer than their men. Wow. All the villages, I work with all the villages, Abrewanko, Jato Paripari, Damanko, Mola number 1, Mola number 2, Tindase, New Ago, numerous.
What's the strategy you have when you move into a place? Because a lot of us are trying to take notes from your experience.
I go to the chiefs.
Okay.
I talk to the chiefs. They say, we don't need our marshy lands. Take it and help us. And that has been the best thing that the chiefs have done.
So you actually don't buy the land?
No, don't buy. You don't buy rice fields. Because when you buy it in future, when that chief is no more, whoever comes back will not allow you to farm there. Now that their eyes are opening into cultivation of rice and all that, very soon they might take over, because now they've taken over yam. They are the highest growing yam community in Ghana, as the Kwasa areas. So we extended it to the Karachi areas. So now we are Kratchi East, Kratchi Nchumuru, and then Kratchi West. We are farming there.
So 2010, you decided you're going to focus on adding value.
Yes.
What was that like, moving from just being on the farm to figuring out how to, get the finished products and I mean, what was that process like? If this isn't the best, brown rice you've seen in your life, I have no idea what rice you've been looking at.
What actually made me go into the value addition was when I realized that the aggregators were making more money than you, the farmer. You grow, they bring their trucks, they load, they mill, they package, and you see your products even not well packaged.
Yeah.
And then people don't want to eat locally grown rice or anything. Then I had to research on it, and an uncle came into the country 2009, and I discussed it with him. I said, I need to do something. I've realized that made in Ghana goods are not being patronized because the packaging is poor. Mm-hmm. The content might be excellent, but people are looking at the packaging. Then he said when he gets back to UK, he was going to make a research on it. He went within a week, he called me that he had talked to Marks and Spencer, that is Tesco, and they are ready to do a very good artwork for me.
Wow.
So I should just give them the designs I want. I know a little bit of art.
Yeah.
So I gave him the designs. And by a month's time, my packaging was ready.
Wow.
And it was shipped down to me, though very expensive, but this is a vacuum pack. Products can be in for over 10 years.
Wow.
When it's about a year, it shrinks.
Okay.
So air does not go in to breed any insect. So you have all these things, you must research in them and know very well that this is what you want. And this is what is going to help your products. The shelf life can be 5 years minimum and 10 years maximum. But this thing does not last 2 weeks on the shelf, so you don't have a problem. So I started, and in fact, initially it wasn't easy for people to buy products from Ghana because they prefer the imported. But now I bet you it doesn't last a day. And I came to Accra yesterday, and all the products I bought is gone. Wow.
Yes, so where do you supply your products?
I don't give anybody.
Hey.
People just give a call.
Okay.
And they pick up, or a dispatch sends it to them.
Okay.
And even when I'm on the farm, people are calling, I need this quantity, I need that quantity. Even when I came yesterday, somebody has come all the way from Cape Coast.
Wow.
Just to come and pick rice.
And do you send it to other parts? How many countries do you supply to?
I don't do.
You work with people?
Yes, I work with people who send it outside.
Okay.
And at the time, somebody called me and said, I saw your Gary. I saw beans in South Africa. Are you supplying South Africa? I said no, not knowing. It was ShopRite.
Wow.
I was giving it to ShopRite, so they were sending it to South Africa. And you see, this is chemical free.
Yeah.
My products are chemical free. I do my own compost with cow dung, chicken droppings. I have a big animal husbandry.
We have to come to your farm.
Yes.
I have to come to your farm and film you from there.
And I use the droppings, the rice stalks, the maize stalks for compost. And we plow them back into the soil. If I see that there's a soil that is suffering, what I do is to plant legumes, beans, granules on that soil. I don't wait for it to get ready. I just plow everything back, wait for 3 weeks, and then I seed.
Wow.
And then I'm good to go. And now my permanent workers are even 32.
Wow.
Yes. And because we went there and the youth in that area saw what we were doing, they are not migrating to Accra.
Yeah.
They are not.
Because they're making money.
They are making more money on the farm.
We're going to get to I want you to give us advice, all the young people looking for opportunities within the agri space. What would you tell us?
I'm inviting all the young people to come. So many people have gone into the universities to do agriculture, and they don't want to be on the farm because they are not getting any motivation from their predecessors who want to be in suits and sit in the offices. There's no agriculturist who should be in a suit and be in an office, apart from those who are working for the government, who are the policy makers, I can spare them. But everybody else who has gone to UDS, KNUST, KIPAS, University of Ghana, they should come onto the field, join hands. And all these people, if we are all on the farms working, Ghana will be self-sufficient. We will not import. People will rather take from us. See, people will take, because I'm now having interns from the universities. They come, it's because of the COVID that this year they haven't come. And you'll be surprised for somebody who is in level 300 to ask you whether cassava is a tree crop or what. And you feel like just slapping the person. So what are they learning in the lecture halls? No practicals, only theory. Then somebody asks you, what is paddy? So you don't know anything about rice, and you're asking me what is paddy. He says, so these are some of the things that the curriculum must be made in a way to suit, even if it's only classroom work, the practicals must be done also in the classroom.
Yeah.
So that the people we are churning out from the universities, we can employ them. Yeah. Because as I'm seated here, I would not like to employ somebody from any of these major universities. I will employ from University of Agriculture and Environmental Studies at Bunso or Chihinis University.
Wow.
When you employ them, you sleep at home and your work is done.
Because they know
they know what to do. They know what they are about.
Wow. So I want to walk through your product line here so that our viewers can see. What am I holding here?
Basmati. It's basmati. People say we can't grow basmati rice in Ghana. Basmati is grown in Ghana.
How much is this pack?
10 cedis.
Wow. Just 10 cedis?
Yes.
And we have organic brown whole grain
This is
rice.
whole grain. The fiber
This
is still
all I mean, COVID season, we're talking about your immune system.
Yes.
This is the goodness you need.
Yes.
How much is this one?
10 cedis.
Hey, your prices are affordable.
I'm growing it myself.
Okay, we're not going to talk about pricing because I'm going to collaborate with you. Wow. And this is beans.
Black-eyed beans.
How much is this bag?
10 cedis.
You know, I kid you not. When I picked up the bag, I was afraid to ask the price because I thought she was going to say 50 cedis or 100 cedis.
Yeah.
They are really affordable.
Yes.
Where do we, there's more. We have
Jasmine.
This is organic
It's
jasmine,
jasmine.
semi-polished jasmine rice.
Yes.
And I see palm soup.
Yes, palm soup.
extract. What else am I? Gari.
Gari.
I mean, all those of you who don't want all that gari in the market, how much is the gari?
10 cedis.
Okay, so I've bought everything on this table. But if our viewers want to buy some, where do we contact you?
They can call me. They can give me a call.
Okay.
On 0245 812957.
Wow. Say it again.
0245 812957.
Madam Mabel.
Or they can contact Madam Paulina Adi,
Okay.
Director, Women in Agriculture, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, for any of my products.
Thank you so much, Madam Mabel Akoto Kuju, for
You're
being with
welcome.
us. I mean, this has been one of the best interviews I've ever had, and we are so happy you took a risk in yourself, and you took a chance on agriculture and succeeded. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Don't go anywhere, guys. Breakfast Daily will be right back, and these are the products you should be consuming to get through the COVID season. We'll be right back.